There comes a time when the energy around someone feels more draining than fulfilling, and I can no longer pretend that it's easy to be in your presence. Sometimes the hardest part is not hating someone, but realizing that they no longer bring you peace, only chaos. It's not always what people do that makes you pull away. It's the way they make you feel when you're near them. Being around you feels like carrying a weight that I didn't sign up for. Every word, every look feels like it adds more to the burden. I used to enjoy your company, but now it feels like every moment spent with you is just me trying to hold myself together. There's a subtle emptiness when you're near. It's like being in a room full of noise, but everything is so silent inside. Some people drain your soul without even trying, and being around them leaves you exhausted and disconnected from who you really are. I never realized how much someone's presence could take so much from you until I found myself hoping to escape yours. Being with you used to feel like home, but now it feels like I'm trapped in a place I no longer recognize. The hardest part isn't that I don't like being around you. It's that I no longer see a reason to want to be. I've spent so much time trying to understand why you drain me, but now I realize it's not about understanding. It's about protecting my own peace. The weight of unspoken words and the tension in the air are more than I can bear. It's not you, it's just that I've changed. You've become like a storm I never saw coming. I used to love the rain, but now I'm left seeking shelter. It's not hate that I feel. It's more of a deep, unshakable weariness. I just can't seem to find comfort in your presence anymore. I've come to the realization that being around you doesn't just affect my mood. It chips away at who I am, bit by bit. Every encounter with you feels like I'm walking on eggshells and I can't keep pretending that it's okay to tiptoe through my own emotions. What I once loved about being around you now feels suffocating. My thoughts are crowded with uncertainty and frustration. You don't have to say anything for me to feel the weight of your presence. It's as if you've become the embodiment of my exhaustion. I used to wonder if we could fix things, but now I see that the only thing that needs fixing is my own need to be at peace. I realized I can't keep giving so much of myself to someone who doesn't know how to make space for my feelings. It's not that I can't stand you, it's that I can't stand the way you make me feel like I'm losing myself every time we interact. Some people just have a way of turning your joy into a distant memory, and being around them only highlights what's missing. I no longer find comfort in your words. Instead, I find distance in the way they fall flat against my heart. I wish I could say that I can handle being around you, but the truth is, I'm growing tired of pretending that your presence doesn't hurt. What once felt like love now feels like a battle. Every conversation with you is an inner conflict I don't know how to win. There's a coldness in the air whenever you're near, like the warmth has been drained out of every room we share. It's not about anger or resentment. It's about realizing that my soul needs space to heal from the tension that builds between us. I no longer feel the need to explain myself when I pull away. My absence is my way of protecting what's left of my peace. You've become a constant reminder of how much I've outgrown this dynamic. I need room to breathe, away from the weight of your energy. Being near you feels like trying to find light in a place that's constantly darkening. I'm tired of fighting to see the good. I can't explain why, but every interaction with you leaves me feeling more confused and less sure of who I am. The connection we once shared now feels like a distant memory. When I think of you, it's more about what's missing than what's there. The truth is, I'm tired of carrying the emotional burden of trying to make things work when I feel so disconnected. There's a heaviness to your presence that I no longer know how to carry. I've reached my limit, and I can't keep pretending I haven't. It's not hatred, but there's a deep sense of relief that comes with stepping away. It's like finding air after being underwater for too long. What was once easy and natural now feels like an exhausting effort. Being around you feels like I'm fighting a battle I didn't start. I've come to the hard realization that some people just aren't meant to stay in your life, no matter how hard you try to make it work. The person I used to be when we were close feels so far away now. I don't recognize the version of myself who put up with this. I've tried to ignore the feeling, but I can no longer pretend that your presence doesn't drain my energy and shake my peace. I used to crave your company, but now I find myself craving silence and solitude to restore the balance I've lost. Every word you speak feels like an intrusion into my thoughts, a disruption that I'm no longer willing to tolerate. It's not about loving you less. It's about learning to love myself more than I ever have before. I can't keep pretending everything is fine when being around you feels like I'm sinking deeper into a place I can't escape. There's a sharpness in your words, a coldness in your presence, and it cuts deeper every time. I've had enough of feeling this way. The hardest part isn't leaving. It's realizing that my peace has become more important than trying to fix something that feels broken. You've become a mirror, reflecting everything I no longer want to see in myself. I need distance to find who I truly am again. I don't hate you, but I can't keep pretending that being around you brings me anything but exhaustion. Being around you feels like I'm trapped in a loop of negativity. Every time I try to escape, I get pulled back in. Sometimes, being around someone is more of a test of endurance than a source of joy, and I'm tired of enduring. There was a time when I would have fought for us, but now all I want is the peace of walking away and never looking back. Your presence no longer feels like warmth. It feels like an obligation I can't carry any longer. I've spent so much time making excuses for the way you make me feel, but now I see that the only person I need to make excuses for is myself. Every time we talk, I feel like I'm losing myself. It's like you pull me away from the person I know I should be. I can't explain it, but every moment with you feels like I'm pushing myself further away from peace and clarity. The more I try to understand why I feel this way, the more I realize it's not about you. It's about protecting my own mental health. Being around you doesn't feel like home anymore. It feels like a place I've outgrown, but I'm still stuck in. The energy between us has changed, and I no longer feel like I can thrive in an environment that drains me as much as you do. I'm not angry, I'm simply tired. Tired of the emotional exhaustion that comes with every interaction with you. It's not about you as a person. It's about the way you make me feel when I'm near. And I've finally realized that I can't keep feeling this way. The love I had for you is still there, but I can no longer pretend that the cost of staying close is worth the peace I've lost. Every time I try to reconnect, I'm reminded of why I need to let go, because being around you only takes me further from who I want to be. I'm not sure what changed, but I can't deny that my spirit feels lighter when you're not around. It's not about anger, it's about preservation. Preserving the person I used to be before I became someone I barely recognize around you. I don't know when it happened, but I've grown tired of trying to make sense of the chaos you bring every time we're together. I keep hoping things will go back to how they were, but the truth is, I've already outgrown the space we shared. The moments when I try to explain myself feel like I'm speaking a different language, one that you don't even try to understand. It's strange how someone can make you feel both connected and disconnected all at once. I don't know how to navigate this anymore. I've spent so much energy trying to fix what's broken, but now I realize that some things can't be fixed. They just need to be let go. The silence that falls between us is heavier than any argument we could have, and it's suffocating me from the inside. I thought distance would make the heart grow fonder, but all it's done is show me how much lighter I feel without you. I don't mind being alone. It's the feeling of being around you that makes me feel lonelier than I have ever felt. It's not that I can't stand you, it's that I can't stand the version of myself I become when I'm with you. Every time we interact, I feel like I'm getting further from my true self. It's like I'm drowning in someone else's energy. The hardest part of being around you is pretending that I'm okay when I feel more lost than ever before. There's a heaviness in your presence that I can no longer carry. It weighs on me, and I've reached my limit. I used to crave the moments we shared, but now they feel like obligations I'm too tired to fulfill. Every time I try to be myself around you, I feel like I'm being pushed into a version I don't even recognize. It's not about you not caring, it's about me realizing that I care too much to keep sacrificing my peace for someone who doesn't see it.